To get a fully functioning Linux environment on macOS, you used to need an entire separate operating system layered on top of your machine. Now, you can boot a native Ubuntu server directly inside your Mac terminal. Apple has quietly released their own dedicated container tool. It generates highly optimized, lightweight virtual machines, specifically structured to run Docker-style workloads directly on Apple Silicon. Step 1 is getting the tool installed. From there, we will spin up an Ubuntu image, mount your Mac's local files directly into the Linux file system, and link Visual Studio Code so your hot reloading works without breaking. You will need to be running macOS 14 or newer to follow along. By utilizing Apple's internal virtualization framework instead of a third-party application, we remove the heavy resource overhead that traditionally slows down cross-platform development. Open your browser and navigate to the official Apple GitHub repository. Go to the Releases tab and download the latest .pkg installer file. Run that installer, just like any standard Mac application, to integrate the container commands natively into your system. Open your code editor and create a new file named Dockerfile. We define the baseline with the command from Ubuntu. You can pull standard OCI images directly from Docker Hub. The Apple tool reads them perfectly. Save that file, open up your Mac terminal, and change directories so you are inside the project folder you just created. Type container build. Use the -t flag to tag it with a name like local Ubuntu machine and include a single dot at the end to target your current folder. Hit enter, and the system will pull the Ubuntu image and compile it. Because this relies on exact standard Dockerfile syntax, every piece of container knowledge you already have transfers over to this workflow without any translation. With the image built, type container machine create, list your image, name it, and add the _default flag. This timesaver tells your Mac to route all future container commands here automatically, saving you from typing the name every time. Run the container machine list command to check the allocation. The tool automatically assesses your Mac's hardware and assigns the appropriate CPU cores and RAM limits to the virtual machine. Finally, type container machine run and hit enter. Watch as your standard Mac terminal prompt changes over to the root user of your new Linux environment. In exactly 3 terminal commands, we moved from a blank configuration file to a live, dedicated server running on your local hardware. To verify the environment, type uname-a. The output clearly shows a true Linux kernel running on ARM architecture, entirely replacing Apple's native Darwin kernel. Next, list your directory contents. Your local Mac user folder is already there. It gets automatically mounted into the container upon boot. To test execution, we try running a compiled Linux binary. On the native Mac terminal, it throws a format error. Run that exact same file inside the container prompt, and the server boots successfully. Shared file architecture means 0 manual file transfers. There is one major workflow issue to address. Standard Mac development hot reloading breaks when files are edited outside the virtual machine where the server is actually running. To fix this, open the VS Code command palette. Select the Remote SSH Connect to Host option and input the container machine's IP address. This bridges the final gap. You now have the graphical interface and hot reloading stability of macOS, executing code in real time natively on Linux. Looking at this architectural diagram, you can see how Apple handles isolation differently than legacy tools. Instead of placing all containers into one large shared virtual machine, Apple gives every single container its own lightweight VM. This chart tracks memory throughput across different platforms. Because of that direct isolation model, Apple containers completely maximize hardware speeds, pushing up to 45 gigabytes per second. There is a strict resource limitation to understand. By default, Apple containers allocate exactly half of your Mac's total RAM to the virtual machine, and they lack a dynamic memory release function. After heavy compiling workloads, the RAM stays captured. You have to open your Mac's activity monitor, locate the background process, and manually restart the virtual machine to free up your memory. As long as you monitor your memory usage during long sessions, Apple's native integration delivers high-speed Linux performance right on your desktop, providing an unbeatable free alternative to legacy tools.